Sheltered instruction is a teaching approach. It helps English language learners, or ELLs. The goal is to make content accessible. It does this while supporting language development. This method integrates language and content instruction. It's designed for students learning English as a second language. The main purpose is to help ELLs understand academic content. It does this while they are still learning English. Teachers use special strategies. These make lessons clearer for ELLs. They modify their speech. They use visual aids. They also provide context for new information. Sheltered instruction is not just about simplifying content. It's about making it comprehensible. Teachers maintain high expectations for all students. They provide the support ELLs need to meet these expectations. This approach helps ELLs learn grade-level content. It also helps them improve their English skills. The term sheltered doesn't mean isolation. Instead, it refers to the support provided. This support helps ELLs access mainstream content. It's like a shelter that protects them. It shields them from the full complexity of the English language. This allows them to focus on learning the content. Sheltered instruction has its roots in the 1980s. It was developed by Stephen Krashen and others. Krashen is a linguist and educational researcher. He is known for his theories on second language acquisition. His work laid the foundation for sheltered instruction. Krashen proposed the input hypothesis. This theory suggests that language acquisition happens when learners receive comprehensible input. This means language that is just beyond their current level. Sheltered instruction applies this principle. It makes content understandable for ELLs. It does this while still challenging them to grow. The development of sheltered instruction was a response to a growing need. More and more ELLs were entering mainstream classrooms. Traditional ESL programs weren't enough. These students needed support in content areas too. Sheltered instruction filled this gap. It provided a way to teach both language and content simultaneously. Early versions of sheltered instruction focused on simplifying language. Over time, it evolved. The focus shifted to making grade-level content accessible. This shift reflected a growing understanding. Language acquisition is most effective when it's tied to meaningful content. Sheltered instruction became a way to provide this meaningful context for language learning. Sheltered instruction has several unique features. One key feature is adapting content. Teachers modify texts and materials. They do this to match students' proficiency levels. This doesn't mean watering down the content. It means presenting it in a more accessible way. Another feature is the use of supplementary materials. These might include visual aids, graphic organizers, or manipulatives. These tools help make abstract concepts more concrete. They provide multiple ways for students to engage with the content. This is especially helpful for ELLs who are still developing their English skills. Emphasizing key vocabulary is another crucial feature. Teachers explicitly teach important terms. They provide multiple exposures to these words. This helps ELLs build their academic vocabulary. It's essential for understanding content across subjects. Ensuring comprehensible speech is also key. Teachers speak clearly and at an appropriate pace. They use gestures and facial expressions to convey meaning. They also rephrase and repeat important information. This helps ELLs follow along and understand the lesson. Modeling is a powerful technique in sheltered instruction. Teachers demonstrate what they want students to do. They think aloud as they solve problems. This shows students the thought process behind the task. It's especially helpful for ELLs who might struggle with written instructions. Using manipulatives is another effective strategy. These are physical objects students can handle. They help make abstract concepts concrete. For example, using blocks to teach math concepts, or using models to explain scientific processes. This hands-on approach benefits all students, especially ELLs. Realia, or real-life objects, are also valuable tools. They provide context for new vocabulary. They help connect classroom learning to the real world. For instance, bringing in actual leaves when teaching about plants, or using menus when learning about food in restaurants. This makes learning more meaningful and memorable. Visuals and multimedia are crucial in sheltered instruction. Pictures, videos, and interactive displays engage multiple senses. They provide additional context for new information. This helps ELLs understand content even if they don't understand every word. It also makes lessons more engaging for all students. The SIOP model explained. The SIOP model is a framework for implementing sheltered instruction. SIOP stands for Sheltered Instruction Observation Protocol. It was developed by researchers Jana Echevarria, Mary Ellen Vogt, and Deborah Short. The model provides a structured approach to sheltered instruction. SIOP consists of 8 components. These are lesson, preparation, building background, comprehensible input, strategies, interaction, practice, application, lesson delivery, and review are assessment. Each component includes specific features. These guide teachers in planning and delivering effective lessons for English language learners. Lesson preparation involves setting language and content objectives. It also includes choosing appropriate content concepts. Building background connects new learning to students' experiences. It also develops academic vocabulary. Comprehensible input focuses on making content understandable. This includes modifying teacher speech and using various techniques to aid comprehension. The strategies component emphasizes teaching learning strategies. Interaction promotes student-to-student and teacher-to-student interaction. Practice application provides hands-on activities. Lesson delivery ensures teachers meet planned objectives. Review assessment includes both formal and informal assessment of student learning. Real-world implementation of SIOP.
I'm Miss Alvarez Craft, a high school science teacher. I use SIOP in my biology class. I start each lesson by clearly stating the objectives. I use visual aids to introduce new vocabulary. For example, when teaching about cell structures, I use a large model of a cell. Students can see and touch different parts of the cell.
And I'm Mr. Diaz, a middle school math teacher. I implement SIOP in my algebra lessons. I use manipulatives to represent equations. Students work in pairs to solve problems. This promotes interaction and peer learning. I also use think-alouds to model problem-solving strategies.
Hi, I'm Miss Veru, an elementary school teacher. I apply SIOP in my social studies lessons. I use Realia to teach about different cultures. For a unit on Native American cultures, I bring in traditional artifacts. Students can examine these objects. This helps them understand the content more deeply. I'm Mrs. Killeen, and I team teach in a high school English class with Mrs. Isabel Ruela Fernandez.
We use SIOP strategies to make literature accessible to English language learners. We pre-teach vocabulary before reading texts. We use graphic organizers to help students analyze stories. We also encourage small group discussions to promote language use.
As you can see, the SIOP model is versatile and can be adapted to various subjects and grade levels, ensuring that all students have access to meaningful and comprehensible instruction. Text adaptation and interaction for ELLs. Adapting texts is crucial in sheltered instruction. Teachers modify reading materials to match students' proficiency levels. This doesn't mean simplifying the content. It means presenting it in a more accessible way. For example, they might add definitions for difficult words, or they might break long sentences into shorter ones. Teachers also use various techniques to make texts more comprehensible. They might add visual supports like pictures or diagrams. They might create outlines or summaries. These help students grasp the main ideas. Teachers might also provide background information. This helps students connect new information to what they already know. Promoting interaction is another key aspect of sheltered instruction. Teachers create opportunities for students to use language meaningfully. This might involve pair work, group discussions, or whole class activities. These interactions help ELLs practice their English skills. They also deepen understanding of the content. Teachers structure these interactions carefully. They might provide sentence frames or conversation starters. This supports ELLs in expressing their ideas. They might assign roles in group work. This ensures all students participate. Teachers also model academic language use. This helps ELLs develop the language skills they need for academic success. Sheltered versus conventional teaching methods. Sheltered instruction shares some similarities with conventional effective teaching methods. Both approaches emphasize clear objectives and engaging lessons. Both use various teaching strategies to reach all learners. However, there are key differences in how these principles are applied. Conventional methods often assume a certain level of English proficiency. Sheltered instruction, on the other hand, explicitly supports language development. It provides scaffolds to help ELLs access grade-level content. This might include extra vocabulary support or modified texts. In conventional classrooms, teachers might occasionally use visual aids. In sheltered instruction, visual supports are a constant feature. They're used to reinforce concepts and provide context. This helps ELLs understand the content even if they don't understand every word. Interaction in conventional classrooms often focuses on content understanding. In sheltered instruction, interaction serves a dual purpose. It promotes content understanding and language development. Teachers structure interactions to give ELLs opportunities to practice English. They provide language support to help ELLs participate fully. Planning and thematic teaching in sheltered instruction. Planning is crucial in sheltered instruction. Teachers need to consider both content and language objectives. They think about the language demands of each lesson. They plan how to support students in meeting these demands. This might involve pre-teaching vocabulary or providing sentence frames. Teachers also plan for various types of assessment. They consider how to check both content understanding and language development. This might include informal checks during the lesson. It might also involve more formal assessments. Teachers plan modifications to make these assessments accessible to ELLs. Thematic teaching is often used in sheltered instruction. This involves organizing lessons around central themes or topics. It helps create connections between different subjects. For example, a unit on water might include science lessons on the water cycle. It might also include social studies lessons on water resources and math lessons on measuring water volume. This thematic approach has several benefits for ELLs. It provides multiple exposures to key vocabulary and concepts. It allows for deeper exploration of topics. This helps build background knowledge. It also makes learning more meaningful and engaging. Students can see how different subjects connect to real-world issues. Dual benefits of sheltered instruction. Sheltered instruction offers dual benefits for ELLs. It supports both content understanding and language development. Students learn grade-level content in core subjects. At the same time, they develop their English language skills. This integrated approach is more effective than teaching language in isolation. For content understanding, sheltered instruction provides necessary supports. It makes academic content accessible to ELLs. Teachers use various strategies to clarify concepts. They provide multiple ways for students to engage with the material. This helps ELLs keep up with their peers academically. For language development, sheltered instruction provides a meaningful context. Students learn language through real academic content. They develop academic vocabulary and context. They practice using language for academic purposes. This helps them develop the language skills they need for school success. The benefits extend beyond ELLs. Many strategies used in sheltered instruction are good for all learners. Clear objectives, visual supports, and hands-on activities benefit everyone. Teachers often find that these strategies improve learning for all their students. This makes sheltered instruction a powerful approach for diverse classrooms.